I've been having this discussion with people about like having people are trying to like preserve tradition and this sort of stuff too. But like we just talked about a lot of evolution that happened, right?
Yes.
And so like people are trying to figure out ways to make this financially viable, right?
That's always given, and they need to try to make it. The evolution is trying to do whatever everybody's doing to make it work. But the truth is there's a lot of good in trying to keep something original. There's something to say about keeping something traditional in the way it first came out. And there's some credit for that. But the problem, so let me give you what the problem is. So if you ever went to a car show and saw a very old car that they love, they treat them like lowriders, you know, gold paint on it, they put ring on it. They didn't put the latest brakes on them. They didn't put the, but what they did was took that traditional body and modernized the paint, chromed up a lot of shit, you know, probably even spray paint the engine inside, chrome, wires was done nice, but they didn't put any new technology into the truck. So they call, when you do a truck back to standard, to restock, it's called
Resto mod.
Yes, it's called resto mod, but if you don't make no modification, it's just restoring.
Yeah.
So restoration, an antique means just put it back originally the way it was.
Yes.
They become antique cars. Sometimes they can cost money, sometimes they're gonna cost shit, but they look nice.
Those are all original parts.
All original parts, nothing OEM, like coming from the manufacturer, nothing special. An original resto mod says I'm using that, but I changed some shit. I kind of, you know, it wasn't supposed to be a lowrider, but I put some goddamn lowriders on that shit.
Yeah.
So we like that. That's called the evolution of some shit. So you see the other person, there was a time, so I'm back in the day when this was irrelevant. So it was relevant at the time. So there was a time when these people had a nice car in a poor area, and that dude was called a hustler. He's either a pimp, a drug dealer or something, a gangster, whatever, but he wasn't a gangster because thugs didn't have money. That's why they would call themselves thugs. They would kind of have to rob and steal. This dude had a gang. He had a hustle. This hustle could be girls giving him money. This hustle could be out robbing. You don't know that I'm robbing, but he had a hustle to have his game up. But his car was going to be how he looked when he was in the hood. That whole Cadillac going down the street, you know, whatever car I get, I'm going to make that look nice. Problem was is they lived in the hood. Things get stolen in the hood. One of those dudes who did it, said, I got to come up with a way to keep my car from being stolen. Guess how they came up with that? They came up with, well, why don't we just put some hydraulics on it and drop it. It was only a drop. It wasn't lift and bounce and shit. It was just drop it. So when you park, you drop it. And that way, car they can't put a boot on it because it's under the wood thing. We're gonna drop it, and you can't steal your wheels.
They can't jack it up.
They gotta, It's like it's drop.
Jack under
it's heavy, all kind of shit. Okay, so the pancake drop was an anti-theft, just like you put an alarm on your shit. And guess what though? It cost that hustler money. The next person who saw that car though, oh, I like how you doing that. Gotta get that pancake. They go and ask somebody, hey man, how much to get that pancake, that drop? Oh, that's a lot of money. $2,000, $3,000. Oh, nigga, I ain't got that kind of money. Oh man, but I got a cat. We can put some ego clamps on your shit. What's the ego clamps? Well, it's a clamp that goes on the spring. We push the car down and we put a clamp on it. It won't let the spring go up. Now you can put that where you want to. We can either pancake it or we can put it low. And it just stay, you can even drive low, and they'll think you got the pancake. It's an anti-theft, it's like having a fake lock on it. So them dudes go out there and for less money, heat the original dudes heated their coils to give bounces around. But then other people put clamps on it to get the pancake. So you clamp or you heat your coils. So guess what? Next thing they're like, well, that's cost too much money, how are we gonna get this done? They walk down the border, that's to Mexico, and they find these guys down there, hey man, you can do my interior, can you do my paint job, can you do this? And they go, yeah, the money was good, the money was $5 to one, you know, so they do go like, hey man, can you, how much to do this? Up here is $3,000, $5,000, $5,000 to do this kind of stuff to your car, to customize it. Down there, I'm gonna get this dude $500, nigga, and I'm out, nigga. He gave me a tuck. He did the upholstery seat, matched that to my steering wheel cover, and then the paint job was like, dude, I don't know if it's better than Earl Shine, but nigga, they painted and they got a gloss coat on it, nigga. And guess what? They heated my coils and clamped it, nigga. They cut the springs. Yeah. They cut it. They did it cheap. So now those dudes was making an industry with everybody in the hood trying to get their car to look a certain way. And this is what I'm saying. Mexico didn't start this, but Mexico were the workers to do it for cheap. It was cheap labor. Niggas would drive their car down. Let's go big tail. I'm gonna give me some paint job. They come back up, nigga, their car looking like, oh, nigga, this is my bro, that's tight. The Mexican dudes who's watching this, hey man, how much they pay for that? 500. 500? Oh, dude, let's do, man, we should do some of our own cars. But they had to try to pick what they thought was like, how do we show people we do it? It became a promo for them. So they found the old bomber car. You know, what we call older set cars, not the Impala. See, the gangsters who first did this were doing Impalas, 64s. That's why we still stuck there for black gangsters who had cars that looked something like they was doing something. But them dudes went back in time, retro. They went to the old-fashioned bomber car. And the dudes who was first restoring them, they said, hey man, how much to get that car? He said, oh, $500, man, it's still right. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna paint it, we're gonna cut it, we're gonna clean it. And they came and did the wheels, they came and did everything cheap. But now they get to roll back up here, come to South Central, and niggas like, well, you got your shit, ooh, that's cold, nigga. White boys liked it old, because they were the collectors of old shit, and the Mexicans liked it because they could do the shit. Yeah. So they had made an industry for themselves. Now listen, this is cold. The industry didn't stop there. While they was painting the cars, putting wheels on the car, they said this heavy body is all real steel. So we don't gotta worry about it being, it's so heavy, we don't gotta worry about pancaking it. Forget pancaking. Let's put hydraulics to make it rise up more, just to get the rise up. They made the lowrider turn left and right. Blacks wasn't into that shit. That's the Mexican, let's change some shit. And that's because they had the ability to do that. The blacks couldn't afford all that. It was cheap to them, they could do the work themselves. It's like, we got this shit. But then they said, well, we need a style. One dude came out one day watching a black dude come up here, I'm pimping, I got my shit. He went, oh, Holmes, I like how you dress. Where's that from? It's all baggy. Looks like a suit. He like, nigga, I'm taking this is my ride, this is my color, make it all purple, make it all this, nigga, I have a purple suit, go with that shit. Man, that's sharp, man. Hey, Hefe, that's cold. And they go, I'm gonna make me a suit like that. Mama can make it. Mama said, make me a suit, make it loose. Nigga, that's Cab Calloway. Zoot suits wasn't Mexican. That's the Roaring 20s, nigga. That's Harlem 20s. Yeah. Cab Calloway was the nigga on the show, but other niggas came to the place too. That means baggy shoulders. If there was a suit, it was called tucks and tails, but made baggy for tap dancers and hookers. Yeah. Okay, but the Mexicans say, hey, nigga, we like that, and they put it on. Then they put on the Lokes, nigga. The Lokes was from policemen who at that time didn't have mirror glasses. They had dark glasses, so you couldn't see what they doing. But they like, hey, nigga, hey, man, I got this on. I put my Loke on. Hey, I'm cold. I'm cold. But the Zoo suit, people go, man, that dude is what's called now, dude. He didn't create the Zoo suit. He didn't even create the Lowrider. But they could do it and get away with it. It's called incorporated takeover. And they took it. Now the people see them. Oh, not every Mexican have a lowrider, an old school, whatever. Not every Mexican can afford it, but the dudes who do the work, they can chop shop. They can do whatever they need to do and get it done for less than the money. So that was the way it was done. So with that being said, that's a whole industry that was just taken, given to somebody and act like they started, and nobody ever say nothing about, hey, Cholo, nigga, I got the zoot suit chain. That's Puerto Rican black from the East Coast. It's not a West Coast thing, that's the East Coast, but the dude who came over, he was from there, who wanted to look a certain way, and they saw that and took it right there.
A zoot suit in LA weather is so rare. Why would they do that?
Because that was the East Coast thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was the East Coast. That's the East Coast thing.
It looks like
But wait, there's a lot of things that goes from an East Coast thing. All our sportswear that LA wear is an East Coast thing.
But zoot suits also, I mean, you're talking about the Roaring 20s and the Italians too, right? The Italians
didn't wear zoot suits, they wore suits. It was the black Puerto Ricans who wore zoot suits, and then the Italians see them and said, we want to wear it too.
Oh, shit.
In fact, the suits that the Italians wore are the basics of where zoot suits, that was the business they could do them. They called them double-breasted. So when the Italians wore double-breasted because they were wide enough on both sides to reach in and put a gun and hang the whole scenario out. So they were
kind of flat cut right here, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah. But zoot suits are long tail.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're short here for real tails hanging down.
Okay.
Yep. So they got the whole wide from the same thing. But the Italians made suits. Again, we talk about another culture that said they were poor but had talent to do some shit. They made their own suits. The Italians made suits.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about the Puerto Rican over there trying, I want to look good, but can you make it look like this? They go, yeah, we can do it. Hey, that's something we can get into. Let's do that. The same game. Yeah. Somebody says we need this for that, and then somebody go, oh, but we do it? Oh, let's make that an industry. So now I'm telling you the same thing you're telling me about pop locking. Blacks did it all years, thousands of years. You're not that black, but you can say, hey, let's monetize it. Everybody else who's in this game trying to monetize with the camera, online, or whatever, they're not all black. They're not from the hood where it started, but they say, hey, people are liking it. We can monetize it. And that's what's going on.
Yeah. And so, as far as, do you feel like, because I always make the comparison to mixed martial arts, right? So you're talking about these kind of freestyle, all-style battles are kind of like, it's like MMA. It's like,
okay,
in the sense of like, let's just see what's most effective in swaying the crowd.
Right.
Right? And then you have like the traditional stuff where you're like, okay, this is a taekwondo tournament. This is a jiu-jitsu.
They do their own tournaments.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's the difference. They do their own tournaments among themselves.
Exactly. So what's more marketable is the freestyle.
That says you can be whatever you want to get in here, but you're gonna go against somebody who's gonna do everything. He's not just doing, you got taekwondo, you might know how to fight a taekwondo, they got rules for that. You know how to do judo, you got that rule. But in here, you can do anything. So while you wait for him to do this, he might go pop you in the eye. So you gotta be careful, break your leg or whatever. Okay, so that's why it's more marketable. It's saying, come one, come all. And who is the best, king of the mountain. Yeah. That's why MMA is good.
Yeah, yeah.
It's king of the mountain. Like, you good, you fight, so you sumo. Are you so big that he can't do some shit on you? Or is he still so good he can stop that?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, like you could be a breakdancer and somebody come out and just robot hella hard on you. And, hey.
That's because it depends on your ability and showmanship. The most exciting for all the dance, to me, the most exciting for all the street dances that there is breakdancing. The second one is crump dancing at this moment. The third one is regular popping. But the one that gets the most reputation, that can slow the other ones down, is animation robot. It's the only one that can hold, like, so for instance, so if a breakdancer goes out and he can do all kinds of shit, they go, ah! But a crumper come out, the energy that he's using just to hit hard, they go, oh, I can feel that, ah! That's high energy. And the only person who's gonna stop any one of those is the dude who just says, I see what you was doing, you was great, but I'm just gonna do this little slow, take my time shit. There they go, oh, he's so crazy.
Yeah.
He's not all exciting, but he's, oh. Because it's got a reputation for preceding those other two. So every dance that comes out has what a grandfather clause of who was doing something before. So, and one step back is that. So all crumpers like popping. All crumpers like popping. All crumpers like popping. Roboters and lockers don't like popping because it preceded their era. All right, now let's go from popping that preceded crumping. Poppers don't like crumping.
I do.
No. Because you came after popping and crumping was already around.
Oh, yeah,
Poppers who was there, nigga, this is popping. I don't know what they doing.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what they doing. Well, I'm gonna stick to popping.
Yeah,
the
old school poppers.
They old school poppers. They like, they doing that wild shit. I don't know. If they was the one who was considered wild in their era, that's something new. That ain't what we do. He trying to do this. Okay, but these people like lockers because they couldn't lock that well. The lockers were the superstars to them. So the lockers go, they look at the locker, oh, that nigga, he's funky. Oh, man, I pop. I wish I could lock. I'm trying. And then the lockers go, popping, that's, we got funk, we got groove, we can dance, we can do disco, we can stop, but these dudes, they just kind of like doing, I don't know, so not all of them got into popping. They stuck to their gun, but guess what? They look back to the robots. That was before us, nigga. Oh, I wish I could just stop. So the trick is, as a popper, I was tricky. That's what kept me alive. I understood this analogy. Nigga, I'm gonna be the robot no matter what I do. So no matter who comes, they're gonna have to go back to the robot, which was almost the base of a lot of shit. And they're gonna respect that no matter what. Okay, that's number one. But number two, if I can go a little crazy, almost like the poppers, the lockers will leave my ass alone because they, you're not third of me and forget you. And then the crumpers who doing some of it say, oh, nigga, you a popper. That was just before us. I wish I had a hit like that. And then they do it. And so, as a bopper, an animator, with some robot pieces, I get to stay in a middle float area. Respected by a lot, even if they hate me, because I'm in a style that's not hated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm sort of mixing those two styles. I'm putting the robot and the pop lock together. And some of the people out that crump, I teach them that they can hit like a popper and that they still being boppers. All right, they can animate that with what they're doing, freezing stops, and they use it. Speed. They can do that and get away with some shit. Okay, good. So, dude, you part of the family. Yeah, oh man. Dude, I can't do that. You got another language. If I learned your language, I could do it because I'm doing the effects. But you can add those effects to what you're doing. Simple. And that's the real rule. So think about it. Every rule, there's somebody that preceded them. Guess what? If you look at a roboter or a locker, they don't have no threat in their heart, but they love to see tappers. They go, I wish I could tap. And tappers go, hey, we ain't worrying about y'all doing that. I wish we could do that. I knew shit is good, but you know, them ballet people.
Or that Lindy Hop.
Right, now if they go to something, they go, oh, that was hard. I don't want to do that. That was something different. Yeah. So everyone has something that came before them that their culture came in and took over. The evolution of the dance changed, but they still give respect to the persons who could do it when they know that person goes, oh, that's the best swing guy I know. I don't swing, but that dude can swing. He's a swing dancer high. He won awards for it. So everybody who is dancing, yeah, that was a sprinkle, real rain, trying to drop.
That's all good.
Everyone that was trying to do that at the time, there's a respect, at least one line or two lines or three lines back. So just think of that. And whenever you dance against somebody in a new crowd, do that. And you'll find out that they give you a whole living room of respect because of that.
Yeah.
Go to a crumping place and just robot, and they'll give you a lot of room.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Go to a crumping place and lock, and they'll give you a lot of room.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, people are holding on to tradition, but then there's also evolution happening simultaneously. And like the traditionalists are trying to shut down the evolutionists, you know. Like,
the traditionalists is not trying to shut them down. They don't get as much market with them around. They don't get as much attention. So they want to say, put more foundation into what you're doing so I can be relevant.
everybody's just trying to be better.
That's all it is. And the evolution is even weird in itself because evolution ain't what you think it is. They're not just coming up with a new dance and changing it. What they're doing is remixing the puzzle of the older dances and do better choreography sometimes. Like I can go from this move to this, or my flexibility can be added here. And I can do a little bit of that and I did it. They do that's what you do when you're dancing. You're putting a pie of, so some people like cherry pie. Some people like apple pie. Some people like peach cobbler. Somebody go, nah, nigga, I can do a little bit of that. This is gonna be the cherry peach apple pie, and I put them in 3 sections on the same pie, nigga.
That's me.
There you go. That's what it's a lot of people. That's
me.
him. He's a super dancer of more than one type of dance.
Yo, what's up, Jay?
What's good? What's up, Soldier? How you doing?
Good, yourself?
Doing good. Doing
Awesome,
good.
awesome. What's good?
And so reveling is the ideal, and so evolution is a slow process. Yeah. It's not a fast, but it's a person who does something goofy, sort of outside the law, but keeps doing it. That's where evolution comes from, because somebody else likes it and they start following. Yeah. So if you ever would have, because you look good, doing touch, but if you first would have started with all the old people, they only did touch a certain way. And they would have told you, you ain't touching because this is the way it is. This is touch. Yeah. You know, I got all the moves for touch. I got a lot of touch. And if you go like, nah, but I did this and did this, that ain't touching because you not traditional. And if you give away to that, you start out, I was gonna do this, but I just gave it up and I don't care, I ain't gonna show them no more, they don't like that. Then you let evolution stop. But if you keep doing it, somebody else gonna see you say, I like his touch, he's good, but when I see you do this, I'll be at home trying to practice a new way to do that. So that practice new way is just choreography. It's not new, it's just where do I go from here? So I went here, everybody do this. Do I do that and say I'm with the same language to touch? Or do I go ahead and go this way? And do I change it so that the lines change? And you say I'll go up the hill this way. It's just where do I go next to look like it made a line? Yeah. And if you keep doing that, you make the evolution. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah. If you say that some dude did some goofy stuff today, he did the bobblehead. So the first time I ever seen the bobblehead was in real cars. You know, so you have a car that bounces and the dog head in the back. They don't have nothing else to do with it. Just that's all it's gonna do. But this dude said, I'm a robot. I'm a bobblehead. And he can do the whole, he did all the kind of versions of, move his neck and head. That's his whole robot. His robot was like a bobblehead. I told him, I said, yeah, that's good. I was like, you're probably doing too much, but I don't care because I want him to make that an evolution. Somebody might come and look at that and like it, and then pretty soon the bobblehead becomes a thing. And I want to see that happen. I want to see somebody go.
Yeah, I don't know what's like this.
And then everything they do is just the heads moving because they don't know how to do. They don't know how to stop any goddamn. I want to see him work the choreography out. He do this and go boom, and then his head go backwards, and now he's doing a twist or flex, next flex things, or I want to see where he takes this idea, and then that will become evolution. That's it. It will evolve. Oh, I seen that dude when he first working on that. I can tell him. I saw you when he first did. I don't know where you took it, but do you keep it? I don't know.
So how do you bring everybody together if everybody's trying to stay relevant in their narrative? Like,
you can't bring everyone together. In fact, that's a good thing about it. Remember I told you, when we first started this conversation, I told you masters get known by exposing themselves. They have to get into a challenge to show what the other person ain't doing. So you ain't gonna bring everybody together. What you're gonna do is get a debate, and the debate gotta be settled by, show me what you're talking about. Now, currently I'm old, and I can do some things that I used to do.
Like you gotta get younger.
Currently, I'm old. I'm not gonna get no younger
tomorrow.
But I'm also a handicapped individual. I have a lot going against me as time goes on. So it's only gonna be so much I can follow up on my talk. So I have to get the people who gonna do any talking while I can. So by next week, I may not be able to do it. Next year, Christmas, I may not be able to dance at all. That's why I'm doing all the shit I'm doing now, is getting out there. Like, hey, no, I'm a hermit. But I'm going to get out. Before I go out, I'm going to go ahead and show people. Look, I never focused on floating. I never focused on tusk. I never did nothing that all my friends was trying to say they was good at because I had enough of me to hold my own. But since we got new people coming who can do multiple shit, that's you. People learning to do multiple stuff. They go, yeah, Jay always do the same. Oh, he does it. Oh, he good, but man, I never see him work on this. So they go, oh, this looks skilled. I'm gonna get him because I'm gonna work on this. I go, look, actually, I battle people who can flow good that don't stop me. I battle people who do this that don't stop me. I battle people, that's not the problem with me. I'm not scared of those battles or that move. But I should be able to show them that as old as I am, I can learn the next thing just like they did. I should be able to do that. I should be able to catch up with you and go, oh, I got my own ideas of a tut that I gotta work on and decide how I want to make that look. So you say, oh, well, that was different, but I should be able to get there because I got all the effects. I just don't got the choreography. I call it focus. I don't got the focus for all the floats. I didn't work on that. I just said, I don't need it. Let him do that. I was giving people space to challenge. Now I'm at the point where I'm gonna be old. I gotta challenge everybody who want to do it. New, old, it don't matter. So I didn't have to. I happen to think that Poppin' Pete's getting better now too. Now, he's been yelled at that he was doing certain weight things. He was making some ugly moves. I'll repeat that. Poppin' Pete was making some ugly moves. So the deal is that I think he's doing better now. Like I think he's a better popper now. He's doing better, and I would love for him to challenge me while I still can, while he's getting better.
Let's make it happen, yo.
But I also got one of my own ideal legend boys, Robot Prince, who I got to challenge. Just because I let him get a lot of room to move on his own too. So he moved, he got the confidence. I challenged him 3 times in my life. He never answered them because we didn't really have to do it, but we know each other. He's not scared of me, I'm not scared of him. But I know something that none of you guys know. What that is that I used to be a robot boy too. And I didn't care to keep robot as my claim. I went on to the popping world was a new thing coming, even though I know they love robots, and said I want to be part of the popping world with my robot. That's why there's a Boppin. But if I go to any old school dudes, here's the things they don't do. So all the old school dudes don't do slow motion. They think that's stupid because that's not part of the game they had. Slow motion is not part of their growth. Robot don't slow motion. Prince don't slow motion, Earthquake don't slow motion. They're not that they can't learn to do it. They're like, nigga, I'm in a hit. I want to hit every record 4 counts. I want to hit hard. Bam, hit that. I got the boom, pat, boom. Yeah, I got that. I mean, I can do this for the whole record. I want 3 minutes of the whole record. I'm just hitting. No shit. I don't got no glitches, nothing. Nigga. I'm just hitting. Can you do that? No, that's what it is. 4 count, hit hard, put the music on. I'm gonna dance the whole music, 3 minutes long. It wasn't. I'm just saying. So, and they're like, I'll challenge anybody, nigga. I would do it. I do the kick move like this. So they'll do a little part of the new stuff up to a certain point. They'll add some waves in it. Some versions of Tusk, but it's old versions. So I go, okay, dude, don't you know the new schoolers is eating that shit alive right now? Cat, I'm still doing some stuff that some effects are still relevant, but you aren't even moving forward. He said, but don't do, okay, I'll challenge against you. This is the word they'll tell me. New can you go a whole record? I go, yep. You know why I can go a whole record? Because I got tricks and techniques for that. When we get through dancing, I'm not tired. I'm tired. Well, we go. That's enough. They put it out. I go, yeah, you overworked yourself, nigga. I'm ready to go 3 more times.
Yeah.
I know there's a pace to go there, like a track race. But here's the deal they won't do. So as soon as I go do this hit, they love it. Boom, boom. Yeah, we know you do that, Jay. You always do that. Boom, boom. Oh, and I might go boom. But when I go to do this, boom, they lost. They go, I don't do no slow motion. That's a trick, man. Why are you doing that slow motion shit? Because this is in the pop locking world, not the robot world, and the robot puppet world. So this leaves them. I go, ooh. They left. We don't do this. Only those new animators do this shit, nigga, do that. Nigga, hit. Just hit the whole hit, nigga. Where the hit at? Okay, well, here's the hit. And then I do a soft one. Oh, but that's that trick stuff. Don't glitch. Don't do the glitch shit. No. I said, dude, everything. Don't do. You see this? That's Sinbad. I created that. I bring that to the table. They do that sometimes. This is how they do it. Boom. Boom. That's how they practice it. That's how they do it. They can't do it like, oh, no. Let me wait for it. They can't do none of that.
Yeah.
And they don't want to. That's not for them to do. That's not popping. That's some trick shit.
Yeah.
All that trick shit to me was the stuff that differentiated me from them.
Yeah.
So Compton poppers who do hit and hard, they like, I'm popping, yeah. I don't know, nigga, I'm standing still just doing this.
And so really, when somebody's hating on you, it means you're challenging their relevance.
Yes.
So I welcome that.
I welcome it all the time.
Yeah, you welcome it all
I
the
tell
time.
them, come do it and let me do it with you. Let's go.
That means you're moving in the right direction.
That's correct.
I mean, it's never really articulated like that because they say, oh, haters, that means you're doing something right. Well, it's because you're challenging.
It's not that you always doing something right when you hate. It sounds bad because people live in a culture where they want love and unity, but they forget that hate is a motivator that makes people step up to the challenge, step up to the plate. If you don't believe in somebody, they got to believe in themselves. So you can't do that. But you watch me. Watch me. You guys can't do it. Watch me. Whenever it's me, you want to talk to that girl. Man, I don't want to talk to that girl. I'm kind of scared. What if she say no? Then you go, no, let's go. Hey, girl, I'm talking to you. That's the same idea as where's your comfort zone and can you get out of it? So I like haters. Haters help motivate you to prove, even to yourself, that you can do something that they didn't know they could do.
That's, I think, even more.
It's better. Yeah.
Sometimes you feel people are hating and they ain't even hating. It's just yourself saying that.
Sometimes people are or are not hating without even knowing they're doing it. But it's you, how you take it, and do you let it? Yes, it's called a coping mechanism. How do you take that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the bigger trick. So I would think that like with Robot, I love him being the Robot Prince. Let me say this good on a clip so somebody hear this. I love Robot being a Robot Prince. He's been a Robot Prince for the longest. But I think now that Cooper is trying to help him say he's the best, baddest robot there is in LA. And my goal is I let Robot stay the Prince for as long as there possibly could be a time. And so if somebody want to herald him, I challenge him 1,000 times. I could do Robot, which means if Robot said follow me in a group routine, I could do him. But if I told Robot to follow me in a group routine, he couldn't do it. Why? Because he didn't focus on it. This is like me, you telling me, if I do a regular pop or hit, you can follow me. But if you tell me to follow you doing touch, I can only do a catch on follow. I can't follow all the touch you do. You focused on that. He focused on the Robot. Robot is basic. I already got that. When I focus on doing 4 fast, it's hard for anybody to say they're gonna jump and beat me at 4 fast because that's my focus. Yeah. I can teach them, they're gonna go good, but if I did do it with you, I can make us both look good doing it. But if I say, oh, dude, you gonna beat me at my own game, nigga, let's go. This is where I'm happy because that's how I always stayed ahead of everybody before. It wasn't beating them at tutting, it wasn't beating them at floating. It was, I'm gonna give an illusion to what I'm doing, and let's see if you can match that. That's why everybody's doing a half slow motion, half dime stock, half bounce, half tick, or glitch back and forth. That wasn't normal. No poppers are doing that normal. Not Robot, no, but that's me. So every time I see anybody go, every time I see somebody do this, this trimmer, the shake hit, boom, boom. Even if when they doing this, to try to get a hit with their arm is not how I ever did it. They're innovating, but they're trying to get the shake that I did do with their arm. If they hit with their leg like this and snap it, they trying to do the hit that I was doing with their leg. So they're trying to imitate me without doing it. That's the called innovation. But again, the first is this. The second is this. So I could do this, and it's got 1,000 people could do it now. But it wasn't in my day. Now guess what? Now let's talk about how relevant this is. So there was a robot group called Black, for certain they call themselves Mechanical Devices. They went on the Gong Show, and literally 2 people in there with the whole group routine that you saw on the Gong Show, if you ever go look it up, it's not popping, but it looks just like popping. They were a robot group. That was a robot routine. But 2 people in there could really dance, which means they had a robot mechanical hit, which looked like they could be popping. The other dudes just followed the routine, and that's what made it look like they were really popping, because they had a bounce or puppet hit or effect, because they wasn't stiff enough to control it. But they looked good in the routine, and everybody did it as a routine. So I told somebody, take the music away and look at them, because the music makes you think they all hit. When you take the music away and look at him, you go, oh shit, he don't got the same technique. So music boosts the eye to the people looking. So I said, okay, well, watch it. All right, good. I said, now I got it now by looking at it. You can see this dude tried to actually hit. This dude got a trimmer right here. He's mechanical. He's trying to robot, but he actually got control of it. So he must have been a pretty good robot back in that day. Which means even today, just like any new schooler could hit, those dudes, if they still was living, could learn to do everything I'm doing. They had a robot base. They had a time to learn. Anybody has a time to learn, but they had time to learn. But to say that they was doing it back in the day the way it looked is already a misnomer. So I tell people every day, take a picture of me when I'm doing forward dash. I do forward dash good, but on the camera, it's even better. Why? Because the frame speed adds an effect. I'm better on you looking at me doing forward fast on a camera than in real life. I know that though.
Depending, because that's you created it off of that.
Exactly.
Depending on the frame rate that you're shooting at.
Yeah. But every camera, I already set at different frame rates. But the camera's gonna make me look greater, no matter which frame rate, than in real life.
Yeah. It's like you know how to hit in the dark, you know how to hit for a frame rate, you know how to hit at a certain distance.
That's correct.
On stage.
When you're gonna be on, when you're gonna be close, how you make it look.
And you gotta know how to do it.
When you learn this hit here is bouncy, and this hit here is kind of a shaking trimmer, but way back here I don't need all that. All I do is get a hit, whether it be with my leg or not, because it's gonna be like, oh, he popping. You put the frame.
See it.
Right.
Yeah. From here.
So you gotta decide how detailed you get.
Yeah.
And to who your public is. So you guys to me are dancers. So I'm supposed to show a high level to a dancer, and you're gonna be more critical when something's done. Oh, I seen this other dude do it. But the regular population that see dancing maybe on TV, they don't really dance like that. No matter what you do, they're gonna like. You don't gotta be high level. You don't gotta go to the person at the restaurant, the windows, and go.
They're gonna be scared as hell.
You don't gotta do all that. You just gotta look at them and say, they go, he robot, no, I get it. And they love you. They love you.
It's true.
That's true. What it is. Kids love you. They don't know if they're gonna be scared of you if you're too technical. Go to a kid and do all that technical work, or compare it to a dumbed down, have fun one. Remember how when we was dancing there at the thing, I saw the kid looking at me? I didn't want to scare him, so I said, I gotta stop being very serious a little bit. I gotta, I see you over there, do this. And he started copying. He wasn't like, oh, give me way. If I started going crazy, he'd be like, ooh, what's that? And they were like, oh, he's scamming, let's stay away, let's go out. But
this guy's dangerous.
Right, dangerous.
This guy's dangerous.
That's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works. So you gotta be obvious of your audience. You gotta decide you go high level or where you low level or average level. You gotta dumb down sometimes. And I think that's for most people, unless they, again, your cipher of people who you're trying to impress and keep them on that you're at that level.
So just to conclude this clip, if you had to give a message to somebody that's just starting out, what would you say, like where would you say to start? Or what would be the mentality?
That's easy. If you just starting out, Go home and practice anything you see that you think you can do. That's easy. That's the real deal. Whatever you like. If you saw somebody move fast, you saw me doing fast forward and you liked it, go home and practice that. It don't matter where you start at. You jump in wherever you feel you can get in, and it's gonna be. So I gotta say this soon. So for the typical 80% of anybody who starts something, they're gonna be a low level. So don't worry about being low level or not. Just get in. But there are some people who are called naturals. They have the physical ability. They can catch on quick. They might catch on, and instead of starting low level, as soon as they did it, it seemed high level. Like they didn't have a learning. They didn't have a learning curve that took a long time. They was already good when they started. But those people who have what's called a natural ability or affinity to learn and transfer the information, go as far as you want to, wherever you want to, because your talent, that ability, like a mutant, allows you to copy and clone. And so you don't got to go new and copy and clone. But again, remember, evolution is trying to reach out for your own piece of choreography. It don't mean a whole move. It just means where do you take a move?
And a lot of people always ask this question: is I want to develop my own style.
Blah blah blah. Okay, so watch this. So first of all, I always tell people they don't even know what style means. So people don't know what style means. Even a lot of people who think they're in the game don't know what style means. I did that. I don't need that one this time though. So first of all, the idea of style is not what it is. What it is every individual is not equal the way you've been told since you was a kid. So some people have more flexibility than the next. Some people can bone break. Some people are very good and balanced on their feet. Some people have got good height and coordination. So when you see something that they try to do, it may look different just because of the muscle memory in their body. They doing the same thing, but it looks different when this person do it. And because of that, that becomes associated to a style. I like the way he did it. It's the same goddamn thing, but I like the way he did it. Because he looks, if a tall dude do a move where he look like he leaned over, it's gonna look like he had more room to lean. That's how it is. So style is not necessarily something unique and different. You become the unique element because you're doing it. So people get mad when you say, oh man, they're original. Look, you're not the first boy or girl in the world. You're not the first gay person in the world. You're not the first, whatever you want to say, you're not the first, so you can't be original. So when you're trying to do something different, you can't be original. You're not the first warrior, you're not the first, you name it, you're not the first, so you're not original. You can't be the first astronaut either. They got people claiming that shit too. So they got a dog and some turtles that was sent to space before we ever did. So I'm just saying, you can't be original. So, now, aside from not being the first, which is my idea of what the original mean, the first, we got a term in language that tells you the first man was Adam and the first lady was Eve. Okay, they got the marker, whether they were the real first or not, they got the marker for that. Somebody's acknowledging that and they pass that around. The truth is, and I'm trying to tell you this, is that while you're not the first boy or girl, you're not the first dancer, singer, talent, whatever, you can still be unique. Unique means it looks different, it sounds different. We can sing the same Christmas song, but our tone in our voices, even though somebody can sound like you or you can sound like somebody else, can be different enough that they like your style. Oh, I like how he sings. It's high. Oh, he got a good tenor. Oh, he got a low bass voice, baritone, golden voice. People like different things, but the song they singing could be exactly the same ass song. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Mary Had a Little. Oh, sing Mary Had a Little Lamb. This is gonna be good. Come on, let's go.
I know.
Mary Had a Little Lamb. You know it. You said, yeah, I know the song. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Please is white snow. Go. Oh, roll, roll, roll your boat. Go. Roll, roll, roll your boat. Come on. Keep this. Come on.
Hey, come on, guys.
Come on. I'm proving the point. Come on over here. Roll, roll, roll your boat. Everybody got that. This is good. It's proving the point. The song is not original. The guy singing it is not making it original unless he wants to put his own impression in it. But roll, roll your boat. It's a simple, but watch the difference. Let's roll, roll your boat.
Roll, roll, roll your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Good. Now wait, one more time. That's roll, roll, roll your boat. Watch this one. This is Mary Had a Little Lamb. You know this one? Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. It's white snow. Go. Go. You can do it together.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb with fur as white as snow.
Good. Ready? All right, here go my indifference. Now the song is the same, but I'm gonna show you inflections. Mary had a little lamb. Look, little lamb, oh, Mary had a little lamb. His fleece was white as snow. Now that's called solo references. Now what I'm trying to say is, what I'm saying.
That's some Mariah Carey.
Look, he already broke me into a style. He put me in. Look, I don't sound nothing like Mariah Carey because she go, Mary. Oh, I'm just saying. So what I'm saying is, it's not the worry or goal about being the original. If you're not the first, you like it, you get into it. I'm not the first martial artist. I love martial arts. I get into it. I become a standpoint of my own, unique, depending on how I reference it and swallow it up and then put it back out. As you get your experience, you get to take the basics and throw it away and go directly for kills. That's why when we practice. Yeah. So as you get good, let's say for instance, you got a kid, he loves basketball. When he first dribble, he can't keep the ball right. Yeah, he tried to throw in at the goal, the little hole, the hoop that you get money to pay for, and he misses. He goes over the board. He goes too far, misses the chain. He hits it, but it never goes in. Pretty soon he practiced, he can dribble better. And then he's like, I made a shot. He gets his first shot in. He's not the first person to ever shoot and make it. He ain't an original because he can shoot and make it. He ain't original if he turned around 3 times and threw it up over his head or under his ground. All that's been tried. But if he can do it, he gets a bonus for just doing it. That's number one. And then later when he gets good at it, he'll say, this is what I really like doing. I'm gonna be like Metal Lark Jr. I'm a dribbler. I'm like Curly from the Harlem Globetrotters. Nigga, I specialize in dribbling. I can't shoot that, but I can dribble. They can't get the ball. That's where you say you put your emphasis in. And people give you credit for where you took your focus. That's why everybody in dancing is getting into another focus. You do a crump dance, you say, yeah, I can lock a little bit, but everybody do it. I can hip hop a little bit, but everybody. But when I do this crump thing, nigga, some people say, oh, you look good. Now, it's not that many people doing it. There you go. People getting in the robot, because even though it's so basic, people giving allocates to somebody who slowed down when you was moving a lot, so they go, but not so many people can do it. Right, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna learn that. That's how you get your emphasis. You marker yourself and differentiate yourself because you decide to go somewhere and focus. And that's it.
Yeah.
And you make yourself relevant.
Follow your desire.
Follow your interests.
Yeah.
Your desire is to be maybe the best and hold down, but your interest is where you are, and take it as far as you can take it until you get humbled. Humble means you met somebody who's better, and you either now follow them because they're better, or you decide to catch up to them. And that's the best thing. Catch up to whoever's ahead of you. That's the best goal to say. I have a desire to be rich, mongo rich. I don't think I give myself enough time to do that. I've just been wishing all my life. But I can catch up with people who are a few steps ahead of me, and that's my job. Oh, they got that? Let me catch up to that. King, I got it. Think I'm going to the next one, see if I can pay. King, all I need is that. Oh, my goodness. Now, nigga, when I step out, somebody paying me here, somebody paying me there. I got to know where to make money here. Hey, I'm doing good by my interest. I'm not the best. I'm not J.P. Morgan, who got his own bank. I ain't going to never have that most likely in my life. But I could put money in his bank.